the political side of it, and then there's the real story.
There's a lot to unpack right there. It wasn't quite the interview I thought that was going to be.
There's a reason for it.
This will be officially my favorite podcast I've ever done.
I read about back pain. I was just at Walt Disney World, Animal Kingdom, standing in a line to go to Avatar. It was like 3 hours long.
My God.
Why do people get back pain, like lower back pain, when you're standing for so long? Now, it could be because I'm obese, right? But what are the reasons? I saw a lot of other people there that were skinnier with that sort of low back pain.
That's true. I mean, being overweight is just one of the reasons that people get back pain. But standing in one position, even if it's a good position, for too long increases back pain. So what I would suggest is to move away from that one position and change it. But before we talk about that, I just want to tell you that it was so nice meeting you at your hotel with Anthony Scaramucci, and I enjoyed the whole evening. It was just beautiful.
Yeah, the hotel is I'm glad you had a good time. The hotel is a beautiful creation. A little expensive for my taste. We spent a lot of money per room on the hotel, but the event was great. Anthony was great, and I'm glad you got to attend. So tell us about Body Formula. I'm always interested to hear people's idea of how, I mean, there seems to be always something new around health. I guess it's an ever-evolving concept of whether we're going to be on the Scarsdale diet or some other diet over time, right? What's Body Formula?
Body Formula is a system of exercise and information to help people reduce back pain and increase their level of exercise, but not just any exercise. It really should be medically safe, and it's not a one-size-fits-all thing. It's really very individual. So if I get you an exercise program that's perfect for your body, it won't necessarily be perfect for the next person's body. So over the years, I've done a master's of science in dance and movement therapy, and we've studied the body therapies, which is very different from your typical way of exercise via going to the gym and lifting heavy weights using their machinery. These body therapies are done very slowly and on the floor on a mat. So if you have back or neck pain, you're moving your body so slowly that you can detect where this pain emanates from and to stop before you get past that point of pain. So my philosophy is not to go into pain, which a lot of trainers do, but rather to stop the movement before you feel the pain and then gradually learn how to improve that slowly, little by little, on the floor. One method that I utilize is called the Feldenkrais method. And this is a man, Moshe Feldenkrais, who developed 2,000 movement lessons for people with all kinds of joint pain, neck, shoulders, hips, knees, back. And to detect these painful areas by rolling slowly on a mat on the floor with the guidance of a Feldenkrais practitioner who would have you go easily so you can notice where your pain is and what makes it go away. And that's my goal, is to find different forms of exercise for people to help them reduce pain. So once they're pain-free, then we can start kicking it up a notch and getting into weightlifting and aerobics, cardiovascular exercise, and whatever is needed to go to the next fitness level.
Yeah, I would say that when I'm standing in line for such a long period of time, my right hip starts to hurt so sort of bad, and that my wife could press down on the top of the hip and it actually relieves some of that pain. So it's almost like everything's kind of freezing up. It's a really weird experience. Right. And I've noticed, obviously, even if I've lost weight, it still happens. It happens worse when I'm heavier than it does when I'm lighter.
Right.
But back pain seems to be something chronic that affects everyone in a different way. I guess it should be probably more customized than we make it out to be. I wondered what your thoughts are on those teeter hang-ups, those things where you get on and you elevate yourself, sort of upside down. You've seen those commercials all over the place about stretching your back and stuff. It seems like a good idea. Is it a good idea?
It's a good idea, but this is just my personal opinion. It's gimmicky. I would put you on the floor, on a mat, and bend both knees into the chest with your arms on the same side in a fetal position, and unravel one arm all the way out to the side, and then you re-ravel it back in. This kind of movement, Todd, is much more reliable than a machine, because it's your body on a mat and you detect how far you can go without pain. But the gauge is pain. So if you're going into the pain too far, you've got to retract back. So I know everybody's always looking for a machine or something to do this for them.
Well, I know I think, Roberta, the concept though is that your feet are being held up above your head and your body weight's pulling on your back. Right. It does seem like, over years of walking, spinal compression probably does hurt things. And I don't know how long of a relief you get that. Do you get the same relief from being on your back and swing your leg over?
Yes, you can. But I want to say this to you. I had 2 hip replacements because I've been teaching exercise for 40 years. So I would suggest that you go and check that hip out with an orthopedist, because you never know. It might need some medical attention. Mm-hmm. Because when you have hip pain, it is excruciating.
It's mainly for me lower back pain. It's not really hip pain, but pressing on the hip sort of relieves that spinal pressure. But I obviously this show is not about me in the sense that let's diagnose me. I'm curious as to how do you help people. I know you've been on Fox, you've been on CNN, Lifetime, a lot of shows, and I want to understand how people can get help from you.
The program that I developed was initially for Mount Sinai Medical Center in New York City for their employees, doctors, nurses, who were on long-term and short-term disability due to back pain, because it is so prevalent throughout the corporate world. I just want to talk about the common causes of back pain, and maybe you can connect with one of them. The first cause is poor posture, where like an older person has this kyphosis, where the shoulders round forward and the neck juts out, and then your back cascades down like a drooping plant, and that causes back pain, poor posture. To alleviate that, you would roll the shoulders back and lift in the breastbone, lift in the back of the head. And here's a good posture check where you just keep your arms open and pull the elbows back. So you're squeezing your scapula together in the back. Right, and relax. Now throughout your day, you can do that. Do a posture check, hold it, and then lift the arms above your head and pull the elbows back again.
Yeah, Skylar, you gotta do the whole thing. You gotta push your chest out. You gotta do the whole thing. Right. She said. I kind of feel the difference there.
Yeah. Chest up, back of the head lifted, arms up, and squeeze the scapula. So we'll call this the scapula squeeze, and relax. Now, the other thing, another cause of back pain is underconditioned muscles. The muscles work as pairs. So if you strengthen your core muscles, you have to stretch your back muscles. If you strengthen the bicep, you are lengthening the tricep. It's that way with every single muscle in your body. The quadriceps are on the front of the thighs, the hamstrings are on the back of the thighs. So stretching the hamstrings will also alleviate some back pain, because the hamstrings are connected to the gluteal muscles of the buttocks. So, I don't want to give you an anatomy lesson, but it's important to know that when you stretch the quadriceps, the walking muscles, the front of the thighs, you are tightening and contracting in the hamstrings behind the thighs. So here's my philosophy. You should be as flexible as you are strong. So the tight muscles need to be stretched and the strong muscles need to be lengthened. Let me repeat that. I think I said it wrong. The strong muscles of the hamstrings need to be stretched more. If they're too strong, like ropes, they become tight like ropes, and that affects your back because it pulls on your lower back. So that's why I say lying on the floor on a mat, you can easily stretch your hamstrings. You don't need a machine. You just need a couple of techniques to stretch. Another cause of back pain is the seated position. I mean, we sit all day long, and it's bad for the back. It puts 100 pounds of pressure on the low back. Simply standing up unloads the spine and alleviates some of that pain. Now, right now, while we're sitting here, I have another thing to show you, Todd. Can you put your hands on the small of your back like this and arch your upper back over the back of your chair? So you're draping your upper back over the chair. Yes. And come center. So if you could do this every hour that you're seated, that will help some of the back pain go away. And I want to tell everybody to please take frequent stretch breaks, because like you said, you were standing on line still, and there were other people who were very thin, still annoyed. So that's what I'm saying.
What do you think of chiropractors?
I think they're okay. I think they could probably be very helpful. I would go when I really needed it, but I don't go often because I don't need it. But if you need it, definitely go. But I think these Feldenkrais exercises or movement patterns that I'm describing to you, you feel like you've been to a chiropractor after you're done, and you've done it for yourself. So it's pretty miraculous.
Yeah, I actually feel the need to take a class. You're going to fly out to Vegas and give me a class?
I would love it. I've done a lot of corporate businessmen. Yes.
I think it's a good idea.
Oh, well, that would be fun. Believe me.
No, I mean, like I for one have lower back pain that drives me crazy from time to time.
Really?
It probably has to do that I have too many burritos, but I think that if I cut back on my burritos, I probably will lose a little weight. I'm happen to like Mexican food too much. So I want to get back to this. So we'll cover this a couple times in the podcast. But like, how does someone hire you? Do they take a course that you're trained in, or do they go to your studio? Do they watch it online? What do they do?
Well, I came out with 4 DVDs, and the first one was the Back Shape Up series, which anyone could go to their library and stream it from their library through Hoopla. And I also did a Say Goodbye to Wrist Pain DVD with my husband, who was a hand surgeon. And that is also very good for posture and good ergonomics, your relationship of your body to your workstation. And I did 2 other DVDs, one Fitness for Kids and one Pain-Free Pregnancy for pregnant women. But I just want to go back to
You don't have these online now, like on YouTube or something?
Yeah, they are on my website at bodyformula.com. YouTube, actually, I have the perfect thing for you. I did a workout on YouTube called Core and Back. So you can go there and do it. It's about 15 minutes. And I do some of these Feldenkrais techniques. So you could see it right then and there, Todd, if you want to just sample what I do.
What's tech neck?
Tech neck is, the culprit of tech neck is screen technology. I'm going to show you from the side. The head weighs 10 to 14 pounds. If the head juts forward 1/8 of an inch, it feels like a bowling ball hanging over your chest. So let's just take the phone for an example. How many people lift the phone like this to look at it eye level? Not too many. Everybody's like this on their phone. So eventually this condition called tech neck develops, where you're like in poor posture from the head, leaning forward and out. It's very bad.
I know people that do that for sure. My wife does the same thing. She leans over. I see that all the time. Yeah.
So watch her posture. and just point it out to her, make her aware of her posture. So the way to prevent that, to bring your tablet, computer, whatever it is, PlayStation for kids, up to eye level, even if you have to prop it up on a few books or a stand. Now, the other thing is they have desks that go up and down, you know, those movable desks.
Yeah.
So you don't always have to be sitting all day long. You can stand for an hour or two and then sit when you're tired. The point is to keep your eyes at the screen level at the top of your toolbar on your computer, a phone or a tablet, again, so you're in proper posture.
Yeah, nobody does it that way. Nobody, I look at it like, no, I'm going to lean over. I'm not going to go like this while I'm sitting here. So I get your point.
Yeah, because it's uncomfortable, because all these new habits are uncomfortable.
It's because they have tech wreck or whatever it is.
It is a wreck. It's tech neck
So I got to hold my phone like this, Roberta, right?
at eye level. And
It
also,
is
Todd,
easier.
notice, does your neck feel tired and a little bit nagging at you if you're like this for an hour? Do you your neck?
I don't get enough sleep. That's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, that's a whole different conversation, right? I know.
So what is ergonomics? I guess this is around the furniture you sit in?
It's the relationship of your body to your workstation. So that would be your computer, your desk, and the chair that you sit in. So again, I just spoke about the computer, how your eyes have to be at the level of the toolbar. Your hands and arms should be in neutral position rather than extended up like this. That can create some tension, or down like that, overstretching. So it should be in neutral. So you might have to, you get your gel pads, so you're in neutral. The desk, often your knees are touching the top of your desk. That's not the desk's fault per se, it's the fault of the chair. Often, many chairs are too high. So the key is to keep a 90-degree angle from your thighs to your calves, perpendicular. And if that's not happening, you adjust your chair. They should have a good ergonomic chair, has a knob on the side to lower or lift the chair. So that's how you would gauge it. Are your thighs in a 90-degree angle to your calves?
Sounds like
Now,
everything we're doing is messed up. Christy, does your stuff seem like it's ergonomically ready? Are you?
Absolutely not. I need my office to be totally.
You need a consultant to come fix it for you?
I do. I need a.
Yeah, they have these ergonomic consultants.
Angle, I need all that.
I watched
I kind of feel like that's the case, because I got to tell you, right now Skyla's 22. She doesn't worry about this stuff. But now when I sit down everywhere, I think to myself, is this right? My neck is hurting a little bit.
Okay.
I got to be comfortable, right?
I do yoga too.
So you've got to be
You're a
comfortable.
yoga
So
fiend,
this-
though. Yeah.
So I work it out. But I do have
Todd,
Yeah.
if you get a pillow, this is a pillow, but you can roll up a towel and wedge it behind the small of your back.
Sure.
And already you're sitting up taller. But since you're so tall, I would suggest you keep it this way, vertical, so it extends from the low back to your upper back.
So
And then
let me ask you a question about sitting, because I noticed when I was sitting this weekend all the time at the race and stuff like that, like you see a skeleton and you have your hip bones, and there must be like some bones in your buttocks. I was going to say ass, but whatever you want to call it. And then you got that little sort of meat on your butt and you sit down. But I noticed, even though I have a pretty big butt, there's 2 points on it now that are kind of sore when I sit, like for certain periods of time.
Oh,
Do we,
really?
as we get older, do we just get sore ass? No, I'm being serious, because
I know
Skyla,
you
you
are.
said at 22, you said you had pain sitting. Like, is it just,
Really?
Yeah, because is it posture, or is it the fact that maybe this stuff's getting thinner over time? What is it?
I'm not sure about the skin. I can't answer that question
Can
intelligently.
you go on
But
camera, Skyla?
I'm on camera.
No, but can you actually talk into the camera?
Yeah.
Okay.
I get pain in my lower back, like if I sit for too long, and I try very hard to like fix my posture and not like, you know, because this is a very common posture of people, like on their phones, just sitting like this, and I try to like correct myself all throughout the day.
But you work out every day.
I work out and I stretch pretty much every single day.
And your back still hurts.
And my back still hurts. But I
So-
also have had issues since COVID.
So
With
so
my
everything's
body.
COVID, right? Your back pain.
With
now?
one side of my body. With one side
Roberta,
of my
it
body.
seems like chaos,
So-
but this is actually how we do this a little bit. Because I bet my issue here is she's pretty physically fit and has back pain. So clearly, what you're talking about is you could be physically fit and still have terrible posture.
That's right. If you're not aware of your posture, again, the lift goes into the breastbone and the shoulders relaxed and back of the head lifted forward and up. And you've got to strengthen your core muscles of the abdomen and stretch your back muscles and strengthen them.
I was
So
pretty,
now
I was
you're-
pretty, I was pretty excited to ask you, Roberta, about when I'm sleeping, because now I have one of those pillow rolls where I can put underneath my neck. But how much
Okay.
does sleeping affect your body, your skeleton, like your head up a little bit versus not head up? What do you recommend there?
I think it's very important, your sleep posture. Okay, do you sleep on your stomach?
No, I sleep on my back. For me, when I was a kid, I only wanted to sleep on my stomach. I was obsessed with only sleeping on my stomach, right?
Oh,
And as I got older, now I have to, because I have a sleep apnea machine, I sleep on my back. And the more I stretch my legs out, the better I sleep. I want to have like a 4. You know how you have the 4 where you bend in one of your legs and you have that 4 looking thing where you're like, the African guy is standing up, but you're in bed, you know, when he stands on one leg, you know, the hunter guys. I want to do that, but then I feel like I got to stretch my legs, right?
yes.
But I sleep
Yeah.
on my back.
Okay, that's not bad, but I want to explain what happens when you sleep on your stomach. You're taking the whole S curve out of your spine, so that's the worst position to sleep in. Then when you're sleeping on your back, you're also reducing that lumbar curve, you know, that S curve,
Yeah.
and you really want to keep that S curve. So the best position to sleep in is on your side in the fetal position. But I'll tell you what would help.
Is that the left side? Because I've heard the left side is the best one because of digestion.
Oh, again, I'm not sure about which side is best, but because I sleep on both sides and I don't have back pain, but if you take a pillow, any kind of pillow, or they have specific pillows that you wedge in between your knees if you're on your sides. So that keeps your S curve in place. But if you're on your back, it's not terrible to take that pillow that you were describing that you use for your neck and put it underneath the backs of your knees, or get a second pillow, Todd. And if you could put it underneath your knees, see if that.
No, I've seen
keeps
that
your-
when you get a massage. My massage therapist puts something underneath my legs to
Right.
kind of prop them up. Yeah, for sure.
And doesn't that feel better?
It does, yeah. What about you, Chris? Do
Okay.
you sleep on your back or your side?
I'm all over the place. Yeah.
You're a mess. All over?
I wouldn't say I'm a mess. I like to start sometimes on my stomach, and then after I've had enough of that, then I kind
You
of
flip over?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then I do a lot of meditation in visualization.
But
And
Christy's
while you're
not in the
sleeping?
same category.
While you're sleeping?
Right before I go to sleep.
Skylar, what do you sleep on, your back or your
I
side?
sleep in the fetal position with like a pillow, and I like cuddle the pillow.
And then I go
I
to that.
cannot fall asleep in any other position, either side, but one pillow
Me
on my head,
too.
and then one pillow around with in between my legs.
You guys sound like
So
a lot
comfortable.
of high maintenance
And I
here.
So
sleep on the
comfortable.
right
I, like,
because
need
the
two
heart is
pillows or I
here,
can't
so
sleep
when I learned
right.
in CPR is you
Me
always wanna
too.
go
Yeah,
It
I-
started
on
when
the
I was
side
pregnant,
because the heart
and
is
they
up.
made you put these pillows in between
People die because
your
their heart's
knees.
up or down.
No, because
But then
when you
It's
Yeah,
just so
I
comfortable
side,
now.
the heart
Cannot
has
sleep
to be
correctly
up
if I don't have
instead of it being
pillows
down
in
because
between my
that's-
legs.
That's how the blood flows.
Okay, that's good. Another
Yeah.
another
But I do
conformed
have
person.
minor scoliosis. That might be why I have back pain. Like, 'cause-
Oh,
so that's probably
yeah.
why I used to go to the chiropractor very often, and now I need to find a regular chiropractor, which I
Yeah.
haven't done that yet. So
Well, the problem with scoliosis is that lateral curvature of the spine. It's not 100% correctable from exercise because it's congenital.
yeah,
But again, these Feldenkrais method, it helps with that. You become very sensitized to differences between both halves of your body.
So you have a book, right? Am I wrong about that or right?
I finished my book and just got a publisher, but it's not out yet. It'll be out in January.
Back on Track?
Yeah.
And tell us about that. How big of a book is it? What's it cover? I presume it covers the back, so let's talk about that.
It covers the back and it covers exercise that anybody can do. So I talk about the problems of back pain, the anatomical issues, but mostly it's a guide, an exercise guide. You can open it up and look at the pictures and get on the floor and work out with me from this book. But it's also about lifestyle, Todd, because it's so important not just to do back exercises, but what does your lifestyle look like? Are you eating well? Do you have good health habits? Are you committed to get fit? So I try to inspire people to really take charge of their health, because that's the only two things we can control in our life anyway, is our exercise and our stress level and our diet. Everything else is up to.
I don't know if I can control my stress level.
No?
I can control my reaction to my stress. I'm pretty stressed out. Well, got a lot of things going on, but
Yeah.
so this book, how big of a book is it? Like, is it a simple read? Is it a complicated book? What's it like?
Simple read. I want you to put it in your back pocket when you're on a plane or wherever. It's 200 pages, but 120 of them are written and the rest are pictures of exercise routines to follow.
So you have a diet you recommend to people? Like you say to them, this is the best diet I've ever seen, like whether it's Atkins or, starvation. What is that intermittent fasting starvation thing you got going now?
You know what, Todd? I tell people not to get on a diet, because once you're on a diet, you go off the diet. My whole premise is just to make better choices, to eat very controlled meals that won't throw you either way. Like, some people overdo it, some people underdo it. I think that diets don't work. And I also think that if you go on a rigid diet that eliminates an entire food group, you're doomed to failure because you will be so deprived. So rather than going on that kind of a diet, just when you go out for dinner, here are my two suggestions. Push the bread basket away and don't order pasta, and enjoy your dinner with 1 or 2 drinks.
I got to admit, anytime I put a piece of bread to my lips, I gain 10 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
know.
I don't know what the hell's wrong with that stuff, If I cut out bread and I cut out pasta, I'll lose 50 pounds.
Right. And I bet you won't even suffer. I want you to.
I'll suffer because I like garlic bread.
Oh, okay.
And I like carbonara, but I can just tell how bad it is for me. Like when I'm putting it in my mouth, I'm like, oh God, this is terrible.
It's terrible, but you want to know why it's so terrible? It turns instantly to sugar, gets stored right in the fat cells. There is no way around that. So why waste calories? That's empty calories. So what I would suggest you do is to write down everything you eat for 1 week, and we'll look at it and see where you can shave off 250 calories a day. It's not too bad.
You got to come to Vegas and do like a training class for all of our employees here on how to get better back posture. I look around at all of us and we're all sitting all weird and funny all the time, and we're all getting old together, for sure.
I would love to do that.
Hey, listen, I appreciate you being on the show. I don't normally have a show this short, but I think we were pretty tight to the point. I'd love for people to be able to get your book. Do you have a website people can go to, like, to see your stuff?
Yes, they can go to bodyformula.com. And I'm also on Instagram and TikTok at Body Formula Fitness.
Well, hold on. Let's do this Instagram together, because do we already follow each other, you and I?
No, I would like to, though.
Wow. You don't follow me and I don't follow you, even though we know each other.
Okay, we have to do
Body Formula. I'm doing it right now while we're online here.
Body Formula Fitness is Instagram.
Oh, I can see there's a couple body formulas out there.
That's why it has Body Formula Fitness on the end.
Is that you there, Roberta?
It should be me.
Wow.
What are you looking at?
Oh yeah, she took a picture with me.
Yeah, there's a picture of you on there.
Oh yeah, you and your wife with Paul Adamo.
Oh yeah, I see it right there.
Yes. I put all good pictures up on my Instagram.
Wow, you're in physically great shape. You probably would be rude for me to ask how old you are. Don't tell me.
Oh, do I have to tell you? Do I really have to tell you?
No,
in
you don't have
public?
to. You don't have to tell me, but I can see that you're in physical shape here, taking good care of yourself. We got something to learn
I'll
from.
just tell you this. I'm teaching exercise for 40 years, my entire adult life. I just never wanted to do anything else.
I just found you on Instagram and I signed up, and I'm about to subscribe to you on YouTube too.
Oh, wonderful. So
Are most of your clients just individuals? Because it doesn't look like to me you're pushed really hard in social.
Yeah, I have a lot of private clients, but I also teach group exercise. And I want to tell you one other thing that would help your back. Do you have a pool in your backyard?
I do, and I'm building a new pool too. So I don't know why I had to throw that in there, but I'm building a lap pool and then a deep pool that combined. It's a really interesting pool.
That's wonderful. Wonderful. I teach water exercise. And for people with back pain, hip, knee, all that shoulder pain, the water is so therapeutic because the buoyancy of the water protects the joints. And it would be great for your back.
Yeah, I have a therapist I've been seeing for 23 years every Saturday, and she tells me all the time, get in the water and exercise. It's the best thing for you,
good.
for sure.
So when I come to Vegas, I'll show you a whole water workout.
Yeah, hopefully it's not snowing in Vegas like it's been the last couple. The strangest thing is the other day I woke up to the snow. It was actually snowing in Vegas.
No way. That's too
and
much.
it's been freezing here too.
Yeah.
I moved here for the heat, and it's been like 28 degrees at night, 24 degrees. It's pretty crazy.
I can't believe it.
So bodyformula.com is where they go to find you. And I'm sure people will have discovery there. But when your book comes out, I'd love it if you came back and we'll review the book together online. We'll talk about it on a podcast, and then maybe we'll give it out to some people. I love buying books and giving them away.
Oh, that is so nice. Would love that. Thank you so much, Todd.
Roberta, appreciate your time. It was fun talking to you about the back. I bet everybody watching this podcast right now can remember why their back hurts. So go check out Roberta and find out if there's a way for her to help you, because I can tell you that I already feel better if I just put my scapula back a little bit, my head forward.
Here?
Yeah, that's good.
Exactly.
I can
That's
see
great.
that actually. If you can just remember to do that, it actually feels good right after you do it, right? Did you try
Yeah,
it, Skyla?
I did.
Let's try it all together. Can you show us one more time how to do that? We're all gonna listen
Hands.
intently, so put your head, what do you do?
First of all, put your hands behind your head if you would,
Okay,
and press your head against your hands and arch the back, let it drape over the back of the chair,
okay.
and then relax your arms. And keep the lift in the breastbone, back of the head lifted, and the chin pressed in. That's how you know you're in good posture.
Wow.
And don't forget to strengthen your core and the back.
All right. Well, I think we're going to have to remember this, because I got to tell you, the other day at Disney World, at Animal Kingdom World, Skyla, even you at 22 years old, what was your back pain for? What was it, just the standing up too long? Or?
Yeah. I mean, I have this one side this side of my body that's been weird ever since COVID, and I think I just need to go to the chiropractor, because maybe it's actually like uneven. There's like a real issue with just this side of my body.
Yeah.
She thinks she has COVID back pain.
Yeah.
No,
Well, after I had
listen.
COVID,
I'm
this
not.
side
I'm
of
not
my
being.
body was going numb.
I'm
for
not
a
being
while.
skeptical.
So
What's happening to me was
there's like
my
nerve damage. Or
my
something,
hip
which
was hurting,
does
and then
happen.
my foot was going numb, and I'm like, what the hell? You know, I was like, and I realized that if I stretched it or moved around, but the only thing that would stop it was not standing up constantly for 3 hours in line.
Right. It's like a neuropathy in your foot you're describing.
Yeah, for
If it's
sure. Yeah.
numb.
Roberta, it's been fun. It's been fascinating.
Yeah.
I'm sure that hopefully you can help people with back pain. I can't imagine you're going to be running out of clients anytime soon. Seems like everybody
No.
I know has some form of back pain. Hey,
That
I
is
wanted
so-
to ask you earlier, what do you think of yoga as exercise? Good or bad? Up or down?
I think it's good unless you have back pain, because yoga often asks you to maintain a prolonged position, and that may not be good for somebody with back pain. So if you do yoga and you feel any twinges of pain in your back, don't do that movement.
So yoga's okay, just be careful, no pain. Chiropractors are okay occasionally. What about massage? I presume that's good too?
Oh, of course, massage is always good.
Right. Well, hey, I had to ask.
I will tell you.
I got to have
when
another
you do-
reason to get one.
That's a good reason.
All right, Roberta. Well, good to see you. Hopefully, we'll invite you to Vegas. I'm sure Christy, our producer, will invite you out here. We'll get everyone trained on how to have a back pain. We'll have some dinner together, and then I'll eat a couple pieces of bread and have more back pain. See you soon, Roberta. Take care.
All right.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
No, I'm going to explain to you real quick.
Continue walking.
But don't be rolling out. There's a reason for it.
So I did get that right. I did get that right.